Okay, that was. I certainly had myself a lot of fun yesterday. Yesterday, I actually took a chance and I did this SantaCon bar crawl. You know, people dress up in Santa hats like this one, and we we went from from like bar to bar, having a good time, whatever. We ended up going to first we went to Patrick's in Elmira. We were all pretty much like up until the very end. We were on the first arena side of Elmira. So we went to Patrick's. Then for like a few minutes we went to Brady's. And then like for the rest of the time we went to a place in the south side called Kahuna's. It's actually really how I got home though was actually really funny. Because of the places in Elmira, the south side is the one I have the least amount of knowledge in terms of, getting around. And so I don't know how it happened, but I was just driving straight and I wound up past my brother's old high school, which was Notre Dame. It gets even weirder because I mean even though I personally didn't go to Notre Dame, I'd been there enough times to know the way. And so I'm driving to perceivably where I know for a fact I'm supposed to go. And two things. One, they added like two roundabouts in that area. Why they have those there, I do not know. But they have two roundabouts. Again, don't know why they're there, but they're there. The other thing is, when you first go to Notre Dame, the quickest way to get there is there's this one bridge, and when you go across it, you take a left at the gas station, and you pretty much just go straight until you get there. And pretty much the same way going home. What was weird is that straightaway seemed to be a lot longer than I thought it was. I do not remember seriously, I think it took like 4 minutes to get from Notre Dame to the actual bridge I was supposed to get to. But again, I never went to Notre Dame High School. But, since my brother went there, of course I've been there several times. I know how to get there. And, it was dark outside last night, so I can't really say for certain, but from what I saw, it still looks pretty good. Still there. That's one good thing. I think the last time I actually went by Notre Dame High School was, you know what it was? It was back in 2015. My brother, my sister-in-law, and I... Actually, this is before they were married. My brother and sister-in-law. We actually we wanted to go to this one place in Elmira that I don't want to spoil what it is, but even though I just said it was in Elmira, I think you guys can take a wild guess where it is, or what it is. And there was like a 45-minute wait. So for that 45 minutes, we decided to drive around, and my brother was able to show his, I believe then fiance, where his old high school was. So yeah, I think that was the last time I was there. And again, just like back then, it still looks good. Still standing. Again, I never went to Notre Dame, but from what I remember and from what I saw, pretty good. So yeah, that's enough rambling about that. Happy Sunday, everybody. And as per every Sunday, that means it's time for my picks of the week. Yay! Okay, so, these Saturday night games are really throwing me for a loop here. I'm kind of glad that the teams I wanted to win won. I wanted the Titans, I wanted the Ravens to win, and they both won, so that was really good. The Ravens, I kind of knew they were going to win just because their secondary is still phenomenal. And as good as Phillip Rivers is, he's no Drew Brees, just saying. As for the Titans, look, they were able to beat my beloved Cowboys. They should make quick work of the Redskins. Although, speaking of my Cowboys, Last week's loss was completely and utterly horrendous. We are mad, and we want to win the division. We're winning today. We are beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go Cowboys. I really don't need to say much else other than go Cowboys. Okay, so, other games today include the Vikings and the Lions. Well, I did have the Vikings pegged as a wild card, and I'd be remiss if I didn't keep up that. So, I'm picking the Vikings over the Lions today. See the Falcons and the Panthers. I mean, as much as I don't care for Cam Newton, and as much as I do like Matt Ryan, overall, consistently, the Panthers have just been better, so I'm picking the Panthers over the Falcons today. Now, not only does Dallas have to win, and not only did the Redskins have to lose, another team I really dislike has to lose, which is the Eagles. So, no surprise here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm picking the Texans over the Eagles. They should totally, the Texans should totally nail this. They got this. My goodness, I hope they have this. And for that matter, I hope we win today too, but we should be able to. So, yeah, boo Eagles, go Cowboys. Anyway, the Giants and the Colts. Okay, if the Colts are able to beat us, they should be able to beat the Giants. If the Giants somehow win, I'll just be like, what happened? Because there's no reason why we should have lost to the Colts a week ago. And so if the Giants end up winning, then I really do feel that the Cowboys don't deserve to go to the playoffs. And this is a long time Cowboys fan speaking here. You know, if we cannot beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today, and the Giants end up beating the Colts, then we do not deserve to go to the playoffs. I am being serious. I'm being dead serious on that one. And speaking of things that should be dead serious, how about the Bengals and the Browns game? You know what? It's pretty obvious at this point Baker Mayfield is clinched Rookie of the Year. And I'd be remiss if I didn't keep picking him all throughout the rest of this season. So, and that's the weird thing. The Cleveland Browns are in the hunt. When was the last time anyone could ever say that with a serious or straight face? Seriously, the Cleveland Browns are in the hunt. This is mind-boggling. It is. Yeah. I mean, again, I have a soft spot for the Browns. I do. You know, they've had a bum rap for decades at this point, and now they finally have a quarterback in Baker Mayfield. I think that their time is beginning to shine. I mean, the chances of them making it into the playoffs are still on the slim side, even though they are in the hunt. But you know what? The fact that we're able to say that the Cleveland Browns were in the hunt should say a lot as to how far they've come over the last couple of years. So, you know what? I'm picking the Browns today. As if you guys couldn't already tell. Okay. Here's another game I'm not really looking forward to talking about. Listen, I know that I live, in the Big Flats, Corning, Horseheads, Elmira area. And believe me, we have our share of Buffalo Bills fans. Of course, I'd love to be able to say, let's go Buffalo, partly because it rhymes, but more importantly, because, it's my home area. And I do have a soft spot for the Bills. I do. But I'm also very realistic when it comes to the sport of football, and the fact that they're playing Tom Brady and the Patriots today, yeah, I'm not sugarcoating this. The Patriots are going to win. There is no two ways around it. None. The only hope that the Bills have is if, for whatever reason, Tom Brady gets injured, which honestly I hope doesn't happen, because I'll be honest, I don't really hate Tom Brady as much as everybody else does. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have my issues with him. But overall, they're nothing compared to the likes of Roethlisberger, Ben Roethlisberger, Cam Newton, or Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, I'm picking the Patriots to win. Although an interesting question I read online yesterday, and I actually asked my father because he's even more of a football expert than I am. If the Bills draft John Elway or Dan Marino in the '83 draft instead of Jim Kelly, do they win a Super Bowl? I asked my father that, and he immediately said no. Because Dan Marino never won one, and Elway didn't win any until the very end of his career. Not to mention, Marv Levy, who was the Bills coach at the time. He was a good coach, but he lacked the preparation for the big game. And that's ultimately why the Buffalo Bills never won any of those Super Bowls. Especially when two of them were against the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, it was against the Dallas Cowboys. There was no way. There was no chance they were ever going to beat the Cowboys. I'm being serious. So, I should probably get going. Let's see, the Packers and the Jets. Speaking of quarterbacks I don't like. You know what? I do have a soft spot for Sam Darnold, but I'm also, again, very realistic. The Packers are going to beat the Jets today. They are. I have no doubts about that in my mind. Now, an all-Florida game today. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. Okay, I could probably take a wild guess I know that technically Dolphins and Jaguars are predatory animals, but in a fight, a Jaguar is going to win. And considering that actually, you know what? The Jaguars keep letting me down. I'm picking the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are going to beat the Jaguars. If they don't, I'll be stunned. Let's see. The San Francisco 49ers and the Bears. Yeah, I'm not even going to give that a second thought. The Chicago Bears are totally going to beat the 49ers today. I'm not even going to... Who would ever dignify that with a response? I mean, seriously. Okay, see, the Rams and the Cardinals. Let's see, the Rams are most likely angry because they lost to a team they had absolutely no business losing to, which was the Eagles. Seriously, the Rams, you had one job, and that was just to beat the Eagles once. So, yeah. The Rams are going to be hungry for a victory. They want that number one seed in the playoffs. They're going to beat the Cardinals today. I have no doubt in my mind about that. Speaking of teams vying for the number one seed, the Steelers and the Saints. Actually, if the Steelers ended up winning, then they would most likely win their division, beating out the Ravens, who I wanted to win. Yet if the Saints win, that could make them closer to getting the number one seed, and then that would be a huge problem in the playoffs going forward. Because no one ever wants to go to the Saints Stadium during the playoffs. And who am I kidding? I hate Ben Roethlisberger and I like Drew Brees. I'll pick the Saints. Why not? Now, tonight's game. The Chiefs and the Seahawks. Both two good teams. Both have fantastic quarterbacks. One of which is most likely going to be the league MVP. You know what? Skip Bayless once said about the Chiefs that Andy Reid coached team is not capable. When it gets cold, so does a team coached by Andy Reid. So, this would be a great day to prove that wrong, Chiefs. If you can beat the Seahawks, which, I'll root for the Chiefs. If you can beat the Seahawks, then you'll be proving a lot of people wrong about that. And then there's tomorrow night's game, which is the Broncos and the Raiders. I'm picking the Broncos. That one's a no-brainer. The Raiders are terrible. So yeah, my picks are go Cowboys, the Vikings, the Panthers, the Texans, the Colts, the the Browns, the Patriots, the Packers, the Dolphins, the Bears, the Rams, the Saints, the Chiefs, and the Broncos. So yeah, those are my picks. Feel free to agree, disagree, what have you. Tonight I may try and go see Aquaman. I don't know. I have to sort of play that one by ear. But yeah, that's all I have right now. So please like, favorite, share, and hit that subscribe button. I can really use the support on YouTube. Follow me on the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You know we're going to be chilling. As always, I'm very humbled I made this video. For all of you guys who watch and enjoy for today, I'm hopeful that we all have a wonderful Sunday. And remember, for you guys that want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care, and have a lovely Sunday. And Merry Christmas Eve Eve.